Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcoming you to another edition of Game Time with Kenny. Game Time with Kenny is back in the house and we are ready to rock and roll today. Well, we are a little behind on some things, but we needed to cover, so we're hoping to get a few episodes in the next few days so that we can catch up on them. So we do apologize. And yesterday we were not feeling so well, so we did not do an edition yesterday. So I do apologize to all of the people that were supporting me. Um, I would ask that at the end of this program, if you could please subscribe to this channel. Please let your Twitter friends know or Facebook and whoever to go ahead and subscribe and send them the link and share the link so that they can go ahead and watch and view these programs. On that note, let's start off in the NBA from yesterday. What a game! Uh, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they both combined for 60 points in yesterday's game, and that was just an amazing display that both teams played yesterday. It was just incredible. But before we get to that game, uh, let's go to the early game. A lot of people were talking about that Toronto uh, could sweep Philadelphia after they played the first game. But I'll tell you, an unexpected Jimmy Butler led the team with 30 points in yesterday's game. That was just amazing in what he did. He had 30, and Redick chipped in with 11, and Embiid had a dozen in yesterday's game. Off the bench, they did have Monroe with 10 and Ennis the third with 13. Uh, as far as Toronto's concerned, Kawhi Leonard led all scorers in the entire game yesterday with 35, and Siakam had 21, and Lowry had 20. And off the bench, they didn't really get any contribution off the bench. They only had 5 points off the bench yesterday. Um, so this series is tied at 1. Philadelphia wins at 94-89. And not only did they win the series, they snapped a 14-game losing streak in Toronto. They had lost 14 straight prior to this victory yesterday. And that is just uh, incredible that they were able to go in under the circumstances that they were, and for them to go back and get the split. And now they'll have games 3 and 4 at home. And if they win both games, they could go up 3-1 in that series. All right, let's go to the Denver game at home against the Portland Trailblazers. And Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, they combined for 60 points in yesterday's game in the 121-113 victory. So on the Portland side, Damian Lillard led all scorers with 39 in yesterday's game. Cantor, he had 26 in yesterday's game. And sorry about that. And Jokic for Denver had 37. Murray had 23. They combined for the 60 points. Off the bench, they had Beasley and Barton leading the way with 9. And then they had Plumlee and Morris, each having 6 and 4 points. So they did get 28 points off the bench. While Portland, they were led by Hood with 17. And Collins had 4 off the bench along with Curry. And Leonard had 3 off the bench, not Kawhi Leonard. There is another Leonard for the Portland Trailblazers that only had 3 points. So they also had 28 points off the bench. So each team had 28 points off the bench, but the difference is Murray and Jokic. They combined for 60, and that was just amazing in how they were able to get that done. Let's go now to the National Hockey League. And yesterday in the National Hockey League, there was only one game, and that was the St. Louis Blues getting the victory in Dallas as Patrick Maroon gets the game-winning goal, and they take Game 3. They get the home ice back after winning on the road 4-3. So they do get the victory tonight, or last night, and tonight. Let's see if the Bruins can go ahead and get a win on the road as well. Now, I want to show you yesterday's victory and the game-winning goal as Maroon scores it for the Dallas or St. Louis Blues. There we go. Okay, I apologize there. Let's see here. Okay, looks like we had some different. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let's go to Major League Baseball real quick. In Major League Baseball, we see that we're just only going to go through a couple of the games from yesterday. Cincinnati wins at Shea Stadium against the Mets 5-4. San Francisco defeats the LA Dodgers at home 3-2. So, and Boston beats Oakland 9-4. Rest of the scores, you can go to ESPN.com and go under Major League Baseball, or you can go under FoxSports.com, and they'll be able to have all the expanded scores in addition. All right, what happened this day in history in sports on April 30th? We apologize. We know we need to catch you guys up on the weekend and yesterday. That will be on another program that we'll probably do a special edition just for that. All right, on this day in April 30th, in 1722, the game of billiards is mentioned in the New England Courant. 1887 is the first game played at Broad and Huntington St. Park Baker Bowl in Philadelphia, as the Philadelphia Phillies beat the New York Giants 19-10. 1898, the championship wrestling match at the Metropolitan turns into a brawl. In 1900, 165-pound Robert Fitzsimmons knocks out 305-pound Ed Dunkhost in a boxing match. In 1903, the New York Highlanders' first home game, Hilltop Park, 168th Street and Broadway in Manhattan. They beat the Washington Senators 6-2. In 1905, it was the first official soccer game between Belgium and Netherlands. It was 1-4. In 1910, the Cleveland Naps pitcher Addie Joss wins a second no-hitter, beating the Chicago White Sox. In 1919, the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Brooklyn Dodgers 9-0 in 20 innings of that game. 20 innings. So they played over 2 baseball games in one game. In 1921, American Professional Football Association reorganizes in Akron, Ohio. In 1938, Donald Bradham scores 258. Australia versus Worcestershire, 293 minutes, 33 fours, 1-5. 1940, the Brooklyn Dodgers Tex Carleton no-hits Cincinnati Reds 3-0. In 1944, New York Giants Phil Weintraub gets 11 RBIs. In 1944, both of these New York Giants take place. Mellott scores 6 runs in one game, drawing 5 walks for 4th time. And as we said, in 1944, it was the New York Giants. Phil Weintraub gets 11 RBIs. 1946, Cleveland Indians. Bob Feller's second no-hitter beats the New York Yankees 1-0. In 1950, it was Babe Didrikson. Zaha Reyes wins the LPGA 144-hole golf weather vane. 1952, Louis Suggs wins the LPGA Stockton Golf Open. 1953, Little Bigger League changes its name to Babe Ruth League. 1958, Ted Williams is a 10th Major League player to get 1,000 extra base hits. In 1961, 2 events take place. Mickey Wright wins the LPGA Title Holders Golf Championship, and the San Francisco Giants' Willie Mays hits 4 home runs in a game. 1967, Baltimore Stu Miller and Steve Barber lose 2-1 despite no-hitting the Detroit Tigers. In 1967, 2 events take place. Mickey Wright wins the LPGA Shreveport Kiwanis Club Golf Invitational, and New York Mets pitcher Tom Seaver wins his first game. 1968, 3 Baltimore Orioles pitchers walked 14 New York Yankees in a 9-inning game. In 1969, Cincinnati Reds Jim Maloney, 3rd no-hitter, beats Houston Astros 10-0. In 1970, Chicago Cubs Billy Williams is the first National League player to play in 1,000 consecutive games. In 1971, the 25th NBA championship, Milwaukee Bucks beat the Baltimore Bullets in 4 games. In 1972, Kathy Whitworth wins the LPGA Alamo Ladies Golf Open. In 1973, women's tennis groups end disputes over sanctioning tournaments. In 1976, Muhammad Ali beats Jimmy Young in 15 rounds for heavyweight boxing title. In 1978, Janet Coles wins the LPGA Natural Light Lady Tara Golf Classic. In 1982, Atlanta Braves wins record 12th straight from beginning of season. 1984, 1,700 skiers participate in an alpine event at R. Sweden. 1985, Dale Murphy drives in record-tying 28th and 29th runs of April. 1986, Seattle Mariners strike out 16 times, set a record of 36 in 2 consecutive games. 1987, 2 events take place. Lou Lamoriello is named New Jersey Devils president, and NASCAR driver Bill Elliott sets all-time fastest lap at Talladega Motor Speedway, 211 miles per hour or 340 kilometers per hour. 1988, there are 4 events that take place. Baltimore Orioles win the 14th straight from beginning of season. New Jersey Devils beat Washington Capitals 3-2, taking the 7th game on Patrick Division Final. New York Knights' first arena football game beat Los Angeles Cobras 60-52 in LA. New York Yankees' Dave Winfield gets his 29th RBI of April, sets an American League and ties the Major League record. 1989, 2 events take place. Kathy Postlewaite wins the LPGA Sara Lee Golf Classic. U.S. beats Costa Rica 1-0 in the 3rd round of the 1990 World Soccer Cup. 1990, 2 events take place. New York Mets pitcher David Cone argues a call at first base. 2 Atlanta Braves players score. Seattle Mariners Brian Holman's perfect game broken up with 2 outs in the 9th. In 1993, tennis star Monica Seles is stabbed in the back by an obsessed fan of rival Steffi Graf at a tournament in Hamburg, Germany. In 1995, Val Skinner wins the LPGA Sprint Golf Championship. In 2005, Major League Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig asks players to agree to a 50-game suspension for the first offense for the use of steroids, 100-game suspension for the second offense, and a lifelong ban after the 3rd offense. And finally, in 2006, in the Australian Football League, a match between St Kilda and Fremantle ends in controversial circumstances after St Kilda's Stephen Baker is alleged to have kicked a behind after the final siren had went. Following an investigation, the Saints are stripped of 2 competition points and the full win is handed to Fremantle. And that is what's happening this day in sports. Now, let's quickly just review what is going to happen in the NHL tonight. Boston takes Game 3 on the road in Columbus at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, 1 p.m. for those of you in the Hawaiian Standard Time Zone. And San Jose takes Game 3 on the road in Denver against the Colorado Avalanche. And that will be at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and 4 p.m. for those of you in the Hawaiian Standard Time Zone. If you go to the NBA for today, the Boston Celtics will be in Milwaukee for Game 2 tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and 2 p.m. for those of you in Hawaii. And the Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors, Game 2 back in Oakland tonight. That will be at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, 4:30 in the afternoon for those of you in the Hawaiian Standard Time Zone. Well, that's going to cover it for today's edition. Again, we're glad that you joined us today. We're glad that you are supporting us, and please subscribe to this channel today. Again, please let your Twitter friends know, Facebook, wherever. Just share this link, share this channel, let others view the program, and all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. And if you could subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. We're going to give you more coverage of sports than any other program you have ever heard of before. Like I said, there's just so much that we want to cover. There's things that we did not cover today that we want to go ahead and do it on another edition. Thank you all so much. And you have a wonderful, wonderful day today. And good luck in watching the games tonight. The Celtics and Bucks in Milwaukee, Game 2. And the Rockets and Warriors in Oakland in Game 2.